The story begins in the bustling city of Seoul, where massive construction projects are underway. Skyscrapers are going up, luxury apartments are being sold like hotcakes, and the real estate market is booming. Among those chasing the dream is one of our lead characters, Song, a hard-working professional with a stable job. After months of searching, he finally closes a deal on an apartment worth 1.10 billion won. Just hours earlier, the price had been slightly lower, but with rapid price hikes and a new subway line called the T-Line being built nearby, Song knew the value was only going to rise. Without wasting time, Song took the leap. He took out multiple loans, borrowed from his company, and poured every bit of his life savings into this one apartment. It was a compact 84 square meter unit, around 900 square feet. In Indian terms, you could compare it to a 101 gas flat, which in top-tier cities like Mumbai, Delhi, or Bangalore would easily cost over 1 crore. Just like many working professionals who dream of owning a home before getting married to feel settled, Song was no different. Buying this apartment felt like a huge milestone in his life. But just a few days after moving in, something strange began happening. He started hearing knocking sounds from the floor above, disturbing his sleep every night. Frustrated but patient, he decided to talk to his upstairs neighbor the next day. Meanwhile, his regular work life continued. He went to the office and completed his task, where his senior HR jokingly said, "Look at your colleague. He invested in the stock market and got rich overnight. Maybe you should have tried that instead." Song's co-worker casually drops a bombshell at work. He's quitting his job. Says he's going to start his own business now. Don't you think it was a waste to dump all your money into that property? If you put even half of it in the stock market, you could have made a fortune by now. These words stick with Song all day. Later, his friend shows up and says, "Trading isn't bad, honestly. If you have inside information, like knowing what's coming, you can make not just 100 or 200%, but even 800% profit. You could earn back the full price of your flat in a single day." These thoughts swirl in Song's mind as he heads home. But when he arrives, there's something new, a note taped to his door from a neighbor downstairs. "My child is studying for exams. Please keep the noise down." Song is confused. "I'm not the one making noise. The knocking is coming from upstairs," he thinks. "So why are they blaming me?" Later that night, feeling hungry, he steps out for a late-night snack. When he returns and tries to sleep, the power goes out. No fan, no AC, no lights. And once again, the same knocking sound keeps him wide awake. Just then, a woman from the 13th floor shows up, about to tape another complaint note to his door. This time, Song stops her. "Ma'am, I swear the knocking isn't coming from my unit. Please, you're welcome to come in and check. The sound is coming from above." The lady doesn't care. "If my husband hears that knocking again," she says sternly, "it won't be good for you. Either stop the noise or deal with the consequences. I don't care where it's coming from. Fix it." Exhausted and fed up, Song decides to confront whoever is upstairs. He visits the resident on the 15th floor, a guy named Jinho. But even Jinho says, "Honestly, I'm tired of it too. I think the noise is coming from above me." He explains that the knocking seems to follow a straight vertical line. Unit 1301, then 1401, 1501, 1601, 1701, all the way up to the penthouse. Encouraged, Song climbs up to the 16th floor and knocks on the door. A tired man holding a baby answers and says, "Listen, everyone in this building thinks the noise is your fault. It starts at the 14th floor, echoes all the way up." Song argues, "But we all live on the same surface. If I was making noise, it would go down, not up. So clearly, it's coming from higher floors." Determined, Song climbs further, up to the 17th floor. There, he finds an elderly family living in Unit 1701. The old man on the 17th floor answers the door and says, "Son, I'm practically immobile. I barely move, let alone make noise. My hearing is failing too. We don't even have speakers in this house. The noise must be coming from somewhere above us." So Song climbs up to the very top, the penthouse. There, he meets the lady who owns not just the penthouse, but the entire building. Her name is Eun-hwa. She also happens to rent out the unit on the 13th floor, the one constantly leaving notes on Song's door. Song pleads with her, "Ma'am, I'm not making any noise. The lady on the 13th floor keeps blaming me, taping notes to my door. But I swear the noise is coming from above." Eun-hwa responds calmly, "This entire building is built using load-bearing walls. It's not made the traditional way with bricks and cement. So if there's noise anywhere, it travels through the whole structure. Also, we've been having trouble with the tenants on the 13th floor. Their lease ends in 2 months. Once they leave, no one will bother you anymore. And if this is really troubling you, I'd like to offer you a small gift." It's essentially 1 month's worth of his mortgage payment. Song feels grateful. He grabs a meal, relaxes for a bit, but as he gets back to his floor, he notices something off. His bicycle tires have been slashed. Clearly, someone's furious about the noise and thinks he's responsible. The next morning, Song's mind is still reeling. If I'm not making the noise, he wonders, how's it traveling all the way down to the lower floors? That's when his friend shows up again, this time with a wild claim. Bro, remember our old colleague? The one who quit and jumped into the stock market? I got the inside scoop. One night I got him drunk, unlocked his phone, and grabbed screenshots. There's a secret trade called Cibiac. If we buy it at 815, then on August 15th, at exactly 5:15 a.m., the return is projected to be 815 times the investment. He adds, you could put in just one stake and literally make enough to retire, but the entry price is $85 million. That whole day, Song wrestles with the idea. He's already got a massive home loan, family expenses, and he sends money to his mother in the village. Taking another risk? It seems crazy. He initially says no, but stress keeps piling up. The noise, the complaints, the pressure. One evening, while carrying food home, he even gets into a minor accident. That's when he breaks. Song decides he's done living the suffocating life. He will find a way to raise $85 million and invest. The next morning, he gets a message. He visits a company linked to the trade, and they ask for his property papers. You bought this apartment for 1.10 billion won, right? They ask. Currently, we estimate its value at just $800 million. Song is stunned. At least offer me 850, he pleads, but the broker shrugs. Our buyer's flying in from the US today. He wants the deal at 800. If you agree, it will be closed today. Reluctantly, and with no better option, Song mortgages his house. He secures the $85 million loan, puts it all into the trade the next day, and begins tracking every tick on the screen. His friend had warned him. Right now, it's hovering at 821. You need to buy the moment it dips to 815. So Song waits, obsessively watching, planning, calculating. Every second feels like a lifetime as he watches for that magic number, 815. And then the moment finally comes. Days pass, and suddenly the shares drop exactly to 815. Without hesitation, Song buys in. Now, all he has to do is wait, just 8 days until August 15th. At precisely 8:15 a.m., he plans to sell and walk away with a fortune. But peace doesn't come easy. That very night, the knocking returns. Thud, thud, grind, bang. At the same tormenting noises. Song can't sleep. One night turns into two, and now even neighbors are banging on his door yelling, why won't you stop the noise? Everyone says it's coming from your place. Frustrated and exhausted, Song doesn't go home one night. Instead, he stands alone outside the building, smoking a cigarette. Just then, a man approaches. It's the husband of the woman from the 13th floor. Got a lighter? He asks. Wait, you live here, right? Why are you standing outside? Song exhales slowly and says, there's someone in the building causing noise, and I keep getting blamed for it. I just want to find out who's behind it. The man introduces himself. Name's Minsu, he says. You heard about the murder in that neighboring building, right? Property values crashed. No one wants to live there now. God forbid something like that happens here. Song's stomach tightens. In the elevator, Minsu pulls out a box cutter and keeps flicking it open and shut. Asterisk, click, click. Song realizes this is the guy who slashed my bike tires, but Song doesn't know how to fight. He's terrified. He quietly heads upstairs, slips on his earbuds, and tries to ignore the constant noise because now the shares he bought are skyrocketing. The pressure starts to break him. Sleep-deprived and paranoid, Song begins to hallucinate. He sees his mother in his apartment, lovingly offering him food. She asks gently, son, how long are you going to stay trapped in this life? When will you come back home? When will you finally settle down? He replies, Mom, just give me a few more weeks. I'm so close. I just need to make money from these shares. Suddenly, his mother's voice distorts, morphs into that same ghastly knocking and grinding sound. It's no longer a hallucination. It's in his mind. Or is it? Driven mad, Song finally snaps out. He starts banging the floor, hard, slamming and pounding, trying to drown out the sounds in his head, making real noise, loud enough for everyone below him to hear. This time, it's not imaginary. Now, the entire building, from the first floor to the 13th, marches up to his apartment, furious, knocking on his door, shouting at him to stop. Song opens the door and cries out, it's not me. I swear. The real noise is coming from the 13th floor. They've been spying on me, filming me. They know exactly when I'm home and when I'm not. The noise only starts when I'm here. You can check their place. I'm telling you, they've got a speaker somewhere. But the crowd isn't convinced. Even the building secretary shows up and says, well, we're already on the 14th floor. Why don't we start by checking your apartment first? You're You've got nothing to hide. No speakers, no sound equipment. Then you won't mind, right? Song hesitates, but finally agrees. He opens his door point one by one. People file into his apartment, and then someone finds it. A hidden mobile phone connected via Bluetooth to a speaker secretly mounted to the building's dry balcony pipe. The vibrations echo through the structure, making it sound like drilling or hammering. The audio? A YouTube loop of construction machine sounds, rumbling, grinding, pounding. That was a sound tormenting the entire building, and it was coming from his home. Seeing all this, the hidden speaker, the connected phone, the YouTube drilling video, Song loses it. "There's no way I did this," he yells. "Why would I install a speaker in my dry balcony and sync it to a random YouTube video? This has to be the 13th floor's doing." Song realizes this is a setup, a dirty trick to force him out. They want to buy the apartment cheap and flip it for millions once the new GT Express line opens. He's sure of it now. Later, when Song and Minsu have a heated argument, Minsu intentionally throws himself to the floor. The crowd gasps. It looks like Song violently attacked him. People rush in, saying he should be arrested. Moments later, the police show up. No questions asked. They grab Song and throw him behind bars. Then comes the next morning, August 15, th.8, 15 a.m., just minutes away. Song has to sell his shares before then, but the police won't give him his phone. Thinking fast, he lies, says he needs it to contact his lawyer. They finally hand it over, but when he checks the screen, it's cracked. Now desperate, he tricks his way into the nearby office room. There, he logs into his trading account from their computer and watches the numbers climb. He's seconds away from locking in the profit. Asterisk 8, 15% gain. Everything he had gambled was about to pay off. Just then, the police storm in again. Bang, bang. They pound on the door, barge in and fire a taser straight into his chest. He screams, his arm reaching out, trying to click sell. Right before he can press it, the power cord is pulled. The monitor shuts off. Black. Song collapses. He wakes up later, exhausted, destroyed. Back in his apartment, he checks his phone. Asterisk 95% loss. Asterisk, not only did he lose his investment, he lost his entire future. The $85 million he borrowed with his apartment as collateral? Gone. His house? Gone. His job? Gone, because he'd secretly been trading during work hours. Now, with nothing left, Song decides to end his life. He writes a letter to his mother. "I'm sorry, Mom. I promised you I'd give us a better life. That's why I left the village and came to Seoul. But this city, it took everything from me. I have nothing left now. Forgive me. I'm done." Just as he's about to go through with it, he sees a light flicker on below, on the 13th floor. Then the knocking starts again. "Wait a second," he says to himself. "If the noise is happening right now and I'm up here, then it can't be me." He's not scared anymore. "If I'm going to die today," he mutters, "I'll take them down with me." But just as he heads for the stairs, the guy from the 15th floor, Jin-hoon, blocks him. "You still don't get it, do you?" He growls. "I warned you yesterday. The cops even dragged you away, and you're still making noise?" They start fighting, fists flying in the hallway between the 14th and 15th floors. Then the knocking starts again. Both men freeze. It's not coming from them. Not from this floor. Now they know someone else is behind it. Jin-hoon finds Song's suicide letter on the table, reads every word, realizes what's really been going on, how the man lost everything and was just trying to survive. Guilt floods in. "I'm with you now," he says. "Let's solve this together." The first thing they do, they head to the 13th floor to Minsu's apartment. He's not home. They start searching every corner, every room, looking for a hidden speaker, a noise machine, anything that might be behind the sounds. Nothing. But what they do find, unpaid bills, electricity, groceries, milk delivery, water, laundry, telecom transport, stacks of them. Turns out the people living on the 13th floor were completely drowning in debt. So of course there was no speaker found on the 13th floor. Nothing that could have made that banging noise, which meant it had to be someone living above them. So Song and Jin-hoon decided to start from the top. Their plan? Begin the investigation with the penthouse, the 17th floor. Here's how they do it. Song would approach the house first, distract the secretary with small talk, and while he kept her busy, Jin-hoon would call her away to the door. Meanwhile, Song would sneak into the house and search for the speaker. Everything went according to plan. Song didn't find any big speaker inside, but what he did find was a gun and a metal fingerprint locked door, clearly hiding something serious. Suddenly, the woman's husband walked in and caught him red-handed. "You broke into my house? What the hell are you looking for?" Tension exploded. Song had no choice but to blurt out the truth. "That speaker, it has to be in your apartment. You were the one who bought my flat when I was desperate. You trapped me in debt and took everything." That's when the 13th floor guy, Minsu, was mentioned again. Even he sold his place and ended up renting here from you, Song said. And then Jin-hoon spoke up too. Yeah, you're my landlord as well. You bought my place when I was drowning in debt. That's when the full picture came together. This penthouse owner was running a scam. He'd lure people into buying flats cheap. Once prices started rising, he trapped them in loans. And when they couldn't pay, he'd snatch up their properties at dirt cheap rates. And once the new GT Express line opened, he'd own half the building and flip everything for 500% profit. Song and Jin-hoon had finally figured it out, but without any hard evidence, they had no choice but to leave. Later, Jin-hoon says, "It's clear now that bastard in the penthouse is behind all. He's driving people crazy, making them move out so he can sweep up the whole building." Song, however, grows suspicious again. First he tried to kill me and now he wants to help me? Something's not right. That's when Song spots something. His second phone, the one that had been connected to the speaker in his dry balcony. The one playing that endless YouTube drilling sound. He freezes. Wait a second, that phone connects via Wi-Fi. But I don't have Wi-Fi at home, so how was it playing the video? That's when the real hunt begins. Song rushes to Jin-hoon's place on the 15th floor. "Hey Jin-hoon, do you have Wi-Fi installed here?" he asks. "Nope," Jin-hoon replies. "No Wi-Fi in my apartment." So Song starts testing signal strength across different floors. The penthouse, 1701, then 1302, 1402, 1502. Everywhere the signal was weak. Until he reaches 1501 and boom, of signal strength. There it was. The phone had been secretly connected to Wi-Fi coming from 1501, Jin-hoon's apartment. Now Song is sure it was Jin-hoon. He was behind the speaker, behind the noise, behind everything. Asterisk, but to prove it, he needs to break into Jin-hoon's apartment and collect real evidence. Problem? He doesn't have the key, so he walks up to Jin-hoon and says, "Hey, if you're heading to the sauna downstairs, mind if I join?" But there was one problem. Song didn't have a key to Jin-hoon's place, and his account? Totally empty. That's when Jin-hoon casually says, "Don't worry, just deduct it from my account." You see, their building used smart key systems, digital keys that not only open doors, but also charge your account for services. Song, ever the clever one, used this moment to swap his smart key with Jin-hoon's, quietly, smoothly, without him noticing. Later, the two of them sat in the lounge downstairs. Jin-hoon asked him, "So what do you really think about those 13th floor folks?" Song, exhausted and agitated, replied, "I'm so sick of them. Honestly, if I had the chance, I'd kill them." Exactly the response Jin-hoon was hoping for. Why? We'll get to his twisted plan in just a minute. After this little chat, Song made his move. He rushed out, ran back to the 15th floor, and snuck into Jin-hoon's apartment using the swapped key. The first thing he did, checked the Wi-Fi router, and there it was. The router name matched exactly Shaz with the mobile that had been playing the drilling noise in his apartment. It was undeniable now. Jin-hoon was behind it all, but it got worse. Inside Jin's apartment, Song found a whole wall filled with photos of every resident in the building. Notes on who lives where, what jobs they had, and even custom software capable of unlocking smart locks without keys. He even found remote access to everyone's security cameras. Jin-hoon had been spying on the entire building. He knew who was home, who was talking to whom, what time people slept, everything. But Jin-hoon had cleverly disabled recordings for his own apartment, ensuring no one could watch him. Then Song found something chilling. A small bathroom completely destroyed. Steel rods poking out of walls. These were the same rods Jin-hoon used to scrape, bang, and thud against, creating the terrifying sounds that echoed throughout the building. And now his plan was clear. Jin-hoon had been using this noise, this constant mental torture, to drive someone, anyone, especially Song, over the edge. He wanted a fight to break out. He wanted someone to snap. And eventually he wanted someone to jump. Because if anyone committed suicide, the property value would plummet overnight. That would trigger an emergency review by the housing board and force the society's secretary, Onhwa, to shut the building down entirely. And why did Jin-hoon want that? Because Onhwa, the society's secretary, wasn't always in power. She used to be just a public prosecutor, but now she was strutting around like some elite real estate queen. How? Simple. She once covered up evidence against construction companies using cheap materials. In return, those same builders gave her massive bribes. She used that dirty money to build another trashy building, one totally unfit for living. And Jin-hoon, he wanted to expose her. He wanted the public to know what she really was. So what better way than to destroy this building, get people talking, spark an investigation? And for that, Song was his perfect pawn. But what did poor Song ever do to deserve all this? He was just another guy trying to make ends meet, trapped in someone else's twisted game. Just as Song was getting ready to leave the apartment, knock knock. Someone at the door. It was the lady from the 13th floor. She came to collect her payment from Jin-hoon. You promised me money. I stuck all those fake notices on 14th floor's door, just like you said. My husband even faked getting attacked, but you haven't paid me a cent. I've got bills to pay. Where's my money? Jin-hoon snapped. How much more money do you want from me? Get lost. But the woman stood her ground. Fine. Then I'll go to the secretary upstairs and tell her everything. I'll tell her you're the one behind the chaos. You're the one terrorizing this entire building. That was a mistake. Jin-hoon couldn't afford to be exposed now. So before she could take another step, asterisk, he killed her. Asterisk. All of this, Song had seen it. He was hiding under bed the whole time. Just as he tried to slip out quietly, Jin-hoon caught him. And in that instant, Jin-hoon was ready to kill. But Song shouted, "Wait, stop! Don't kill me! Listen, I get it now. I know your intentions aren't completely evil. You're trying to expose the real villain, the truth behind the society owner. Let's team up. You help me get my property back, and I'll help you bring her down." He explained how he was drowning in debt, how the property owner had taken his documents, and how he lost all his money in a failed trade. Jin-hoon paused, then nodded. It was a deal. Together, they started planning how to expose the society's secretary, Eun-hwa. But what they didn't know was that Eun-hwa was even smarter than they thought. She had kept a black ledger, a secret account book with every detail of the corruption. It listed how cheap, substandard materials were used in constructing the entire building. Instead of solid walls and quality flooring, the secretary had cut every corner to maximize her profits. First, Jin-hoon went after Eun-hwa's husband, who had secretly purchased the lower floor apartments from poor residents at dirt cheap prices, while Eun-hwa made their lives hell to push them out. Jin-hoon killed him. Then he turned to Song. She's next. Kill her. But Song couldn't do it. He didn't want to kill anyone. Instead, he tried to help Eun-hwa. He begged her to confess, but she turned on both of them, a double cross. She wanted them both dead. After all, if both Jin-hoon and Song were out of the picture, she'd own most of the building. She had already purchased the upper floors, and the lower ones held little value. She started taunting them, waving her plan in Song's face. You people, trash like you. You'll always be pawns in our world. As long as you keep falling into traps like mine, we'll keep getting richer. And just as she was about to shoot Song, something happened. Jin-hoon, bloody, broken, barely able to stand, rose up from the floor and killed her. Breathing heavily, he turned to Song and said, "Bring me the account book." But Song had seen enough. He wasn't a killer. He didn't want to hurt anyone. He made a choice, a final one. He walked back to his own flat on the 14th floor, took out his original property papers, and set the rest of the documents on fire. Then he opened the gas line, left it running, and quietly walked away. Moments later, boom, the entire penthouse exploded. The shockwave rocked the building. Some residents fled, some abandoned their homes forever. The story shifts to a hospital. Song survived, barely. Only his mother came to see him. She held his hand and said softly, "Enough of this solar city. Come back to the village. Live with me. You can rest and rebuild." Later, Song went to the police station, trying to explain everything. "Sir, it wasn't me. The noise, the drilling, the chaos. It was all coming from the 15th floor. He had hacked the building. Cameras, speakers. He had everything wired. He was trying to expose the truth, but the police didn't believe him." Defeated, Song returned to the village with his mother. There, time passed slowly. One night, he lay awake staring at the ceiling. Should I go back? He wondered. He thought about all he'd lost and all he'd survived. Eventually, he made his decision. I'm going. The property was finally in his name now. The people who manipulated him, gone. He returned to Unit 144. And for the first time in a long time. Asterisk, he smiled. Asterisk, from my side, this flat was finally mine now. But suddenly, we see that because of the poor construction and badly built building, the noise from the people living downstairs started traveling all the way up to the 14th floor. Whether there were speakers or not, whether someone was hammering something or not, the sound still made its way up. Because the apartments were small and compact, the noise kept bothering the character named Song. And that's where the movie ends. Now, if I explain the second layer of this movie, what it's really trying to say is this. Noise doesn't just exist in our homes, noise exists inside our hearts too. And this noise, it's the chaos of a society where everyone is chasing profit, where people are so busy running, competing, and dancing to their own tunes that they completely destroy the peace and work of others. If we look at the lower income people, like laborers or handymen, they do minimal work and take too many breaks. Slightly above them, people working in companies are involved in theft or always planning to switch jobs. And as we go even higher, to the level of contractors, builders, secretaries, prosecutors, those people commit big-time scams. They mess up entire buildings with poor quality materials, illegal shortcuts, and faulty construction. These actions shake the whole system from its roots. Even if one person is honest, it doesn't matter. Until the entire system is honest and clean, this noise, this chaos will never stop. It will keep going and going. And that's the reason we see Song laughing in the end. That laugh isn't from happiness, it's the laugh of a man who has gone mad. A madness that says, now this system must change. Well, when will this system change? That's something you can tell me in the comments. How did you like the movie? How did you like our explanation? And what do you think about this deep theory behind the film? Let us know in the comments section about we keep bringing such unique movie explanations just for you. And since this was a brand new release on Netflix, I decided to bring it to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to share your thoughts on it. And if you're here for the first time, make sure to hit subscribe to our channel because another amazing video is coming your way very soon. So till then, keep watching, stay safe, and thank you so much guys for watching this video. See you in the next one.